We are the Nerdy Turtle Network.
Hello, welcome to Icons of Primes, here on the Nerd Turtle Network. I'm your GM for the day, Jason, and with me today is Mike as Transmuter.
Hello.
Zach as Helios.
Thank you for joining us.
And Taylor as Puppet.
Howdy, howdy.
We're one man down because he thought a cruise would be a nice thing to take. No dedication. And I'm pretty sure he'll be listening to this later. But, alright. Who remembers what went down last time? Because I think we had a cancellation between then and now. I forget.
We traced the source of a robot attack back to a mysterious, unclaimed island in the middle of the ocean, whereupon we call it the minivan, right?
Or the sedan, either one.
Sedan, yes. The sedan was chased off by invisible missiles. We touched down. We were teleported down onto the surface of the island. Started poking around, and we found both the specter of the first Fighting Yank, as well as his grandson, slumbering in a hidden cave on the island, who had been trapped there since sometime during World War II.
Yeah, it would have been the tail end. But,
yeah.
Or at least the tail end of the fight in the Pacific. Only correction I would make is technically the grandson is the first Fighting Yank. It was his colonial era ancestor that was a ghost.
All right.
Because who does why wouldn't you expect to find a colonial ghost running around on a Pacific island?
That's their natural habitat. You see them anywhere else, you need to get them back there. They're scared and hungry.
All right, but yes, I believe we had wrapped up. You had lost contact with Sharon. Or Grandma Niece, as Seth Agua calls her. Or Seth Agua. Well, I'm not going to try to fight over the pronunciation. Because she had run off and drug the missiles behind her, and then there was an explosion. Y'all haven't had contact with her since. I'm sure she's fine. And I believe we wrapped up in the cave, or just outside the cave that the Yank had been sleeping in. His grandfather had woke him up. There had been some discussion. He's not super happy about the time that has passed. Has a fiance. I believe he's quite concerned about getting back to her. Yeah, and y'all had been making your way towards the volcano because obviously, if there's a base on an island, it's going to be in the volcano.
Of course, the base might also be invisible.
You're right. It might be sitting out in the open and just unseen. Except that I think he had stolen the invisibility tech relatively recently.
True.
Just 1 second. Okay, I am being a bad game master because I don't remember where I put the book that had the Yank stats. But I had specific Golden Age thrilling action. That's probably it. Yep, there it is. Okay. Good to go now. Alright. So you're starting up outside that island. It's you four, the Yank, and the Yank's grandfather, who I believe introduced himself as Bruce Carter. So the Yank asks you, where do y'all want to go from here? You know, if we've got to find this guy's base and shut him down before we can get out of here, then let's get to it.
My only guess is that, and Helios gestures at the volcano. And otherwise, I think even if we just rummage around on the island long enough, we'll figure out we're here and try to send something out to us, and that'd tip us off where he might be either way. But yeah, volcano.
Okay, the Yank starts marching that direction. How many of you folks can fly?
I can fly-ish for a little while. I'm trying to work on the longevity.
I could probably fake it. Maybe transmute a makeshift balloon if I had to.
Oh, he's like, just asking, just, you know, seeing how we're going to have to cover ground. But okay, if y'all continue towards the volcano, you know, you're pushing through some fairly thick underbrush. You know, it's a decent bit of a plant growth on this island, despite how small it is. I want to say Seth was the one that was clearing a lot of the way in front of you, since he had those claws. But you get to the base of the mountain here. You know, if you look on the map, you can see there, you know, these little stone stairs. And when you get close to them, they're really kind of carved into the rock. They're not very worn. They've been cut into the rock with some precision. I mean, it's 90-degree angles. So, you know, it's clearly not all that old. Not as old as a sunk pirate ship, you know, off under the water. But, as you approach it, I'm going to need everybody to give me... just a second. Coordination. I believe. Yes, coordination. Everybody give me a coordination roll. Against a difficulty of... only a 5. Basically, as you come up to those steps, the fronts of 2 boulders drop forward, and there's like a automated machine gun emplacement.
Oh no, I don't like that.
All right, so who beat a 5?
Transmuter did.
Helios is good.
Okay. Somebody give me a D6 roll for the Yank.
I'll take care of it. Ooh.
Look, man, if you don't like my NPCs, just say so. You don't have to float their dice rolls.
We've awoken a living legend. Immediately get him cut apart by machine gun fire.
Okay, we don't tell anybody that we ran into him. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to grab my notes. All right. All right. So the Yank got here because the Yank has a coordination of 4. So that gives him a total of... Well, that gives him a total of a 6. So you did actually beat the 5 at least. Uh, Alright, so all of you get out of the way, or in the Yank's case, he literally just pulls it. He just pulls his grandfather's cloak up in front of him, and when the bullets hit the cloak, they just sort of stop and drop like they've lost all momentum.
They lose all momentum as well when they hit me.
They eventually lose their momentum when they hit you. Alright, that is 4 points of damage from the machine gun. Because, yeah, the bullet just slams into Puppet. Now, had you had one of your force shields up? Or do you just put those on other people?
And put them on myself. But I don't think I had stated I had.
Okay. I was thinking you had thrown some around last session, but that may have been putting them on the siblings. Or it might have even been back when y'all were dealing with the robots at the convention. Alright, so 4 points of damage minus any protections that you have.
Noted.
Alright, y'all have a chance to respond before they can shoot you again.
Helios is just gonna try and run up and crush one of them.
Okay. Give me a prowess roll. They're just getting a straight dice roll for difficulty because they're not really capable of doing much dodging or much maneuvering. Alrighty, and your strength is 7 or 8?
It's 7.
Okay. So yeah, you walk up, you just kind of like a beer can against a truck driver's forehead. Just, and who goes after the other one?
I could just try to transmute it into water.
Okay. Give me a coordination roll to hit it. Only need to be 3.
Nice.
So you see Transmuter whip her hand up. I think we said her eyes glow when she uses her power.
Yeah, glowing eyes, yes.
And as she's doing that, the Yank had taken a step or two forward, and then he sees the gun just become water. He kind of looks back at Transmuter. That's an impressive power. Can you make rare earths that way?
Yes, yeah, actually, yeah, I don't see why not.
Huh. Clearly his mind immediately went to, like, practical purposes.
Right.
Well, if he's got these sorts of things set up, if he's got any kind of alarms set up to these things, he knows we're here now. Y'all wanna try to scale the side of this thing? Or he gestures forward because, up them little steps there's a cave entrance. Or do you figure that's the front door?
It's either the front door or it's a deadly booby trap. Maybe both. I have leaping 5. Yes, 5. Would that be sufficient to get me to the top from where I'm standing?
5 seems like it ought to be, but let me check the benchmarks. Yeah, that is 10 to 20 city blocks distance-wise. And I'm assuming that's like New York City blocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not a like super high volcano. The island just isn't that big. So yeah, you could probably get to the top pretty easy. You know, it might take 2 leaps or something, but nothing. It's not gonna take any substantial amount of time.
Well, if someone wants to hop on my back, I could jump us to the top and we can scout it out from there. And if it is viable, I can just hop back down a couple times and ferry everyone else to the top.
Sure.
Who's the first volunteer? And he starts just stretching and working out his back.
Well, the Yank's like, I could probably carry somebody myself.
Oh, do you fly?
He's like, oh yes. You know,
Oh.
not you know, I'm not fast like an airplane or anything.
Can you outpace a helicopter?
Not a fast helicopter. Actually,
Helicopters only came out after World War II, so
I was about to say, I say that, but then I thought, stop and think. Does he actually know what a helicopter is?
maybe saw some weird prototypes some supervillain cooked up at some point.
The gyrocopter.
Yes. Can he outpace a fast gyrocopter?
I now picture the grandfather ghost. Helicopter. Do you mean one of Da Vinci's Aereo screws? I didn't think he ever actually built those. But yeah, he can carry somebody up top. Specifically, he'll step over to Puppet. I think Seth had pretty much let it be known that y'all were siblings, so just seems proper to let the young lady's brother carry her.
Respectable.
So yeah, so if y'all want to make it to the top really quick, y'all head up there. Give me awareness rolls.
Jawohl.
Really hit me where I'm weak today.
That's okay. With the way my dice are rolling, it's not really going to matter. Alright, so Helios got a 9. Puppet got a 5. Transmuter got a 6. And with my roll, the difficulty was only a 4. So yeah, as you're getting close to the top, all of you 3 hear the sound, mechanical sounds of something moving. You glance around and you see these little they look like missile ports. Kind of comes up out of the ground. The top of them are disguised look like rocks when they're kind of lowered, but they raise up and start tracking you. But you see them in time that you can land, and once you're on the ground, they don't actually fire. You know, unless Helios just wants to stay in the air because he thinks he can take it.
I would rather not, because I don't know what those things are loaded with.
But you'd gotten fairly close to the top before it picked you up, so
Yeah.
you know, a couple of minutes of kind of hiking, half climbing, and you get up to the cusp. You can feel the heat coming up out of the. I don't think you call it the crater, but whatever it's called.
Caldera.
Oh yes, the caldera. And where on the map you can see, you know, there's not actually the bridge stretched across it as you see on the map. That'd be a little too obvious a sign that something was going on. But okay, you're at the top now.
I'm just gonna start throwing things across the mouth of the volcano. Like just grabbing rocks and chunking them as hard as I can, just across that gap.
Okay. You throw it across, you know, it flies across. There's a little wavering in the air, but that's just, you know, you're pretty sure just from the heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, you arc a rock across without any trouble. It lands on the other side.
So nothing invisible on the top.
You said you were gonna throw a couple across.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one goes across just the same. Only when it hits a rock on the other side, there's kind of this hollow bong sound.
I think we found an entrance hatch. I'm just gonna go over and kick it.
You kick it and a metal cover goes flying off. The outside was disguised to look like a rock. But it was literally, you know, just a paint scheme on the outside. You know, it wasn't like it was, it's not like there was molded plastic to look like a rock. It was like somebody had dipped it in something kind of rock textured or rock colored. So that goes, you know, flip it over the side, you leave a dent in it. It was just basically sheet metal. What it was covering was a much sturdier looking hatch. You know, domes up a little bit out of the ground. It's got the big two-handed wheel you would turn to open it. Very old school. It looks like it's been kept maintained though. It's not rusty or even particularly like dirty. But it doesn't look particularly modern either.
Transmuter, you want to take care of this, or you want me to just rip it off?
Yeah, I'll dissolve it.
All right.
Ready?
Ain't really got to roll for that one. You just walk forward and tap it and turn it into... What do you turn it into?
Not water, because I don't want to. I don't want to create a slipping hazard. Maybe just plain old helium.
Okay. Yank's just shaking his head. Somebody with your powers has been so nice fighting tanks. Well, last one down's a rotten egg, and he just steps over and drops through the hatch.
Can't say I blame him for his eagerness.
One hand goes up to hold his hat on so it doesn't fly off as he drops.
I give him a couple seconds, and then I drop down after him.
Okay. You didn't actually hear him hit the floor. But as somebody that can fly, he could probably slow himself down. But yeah, you drop down behind him, and you know he had immediately landed and stepped away. You're at the bottom of a little room. There's a ladder on one wall that runs up to the hatch y'all are coming through. When you land, the Yank's already at the door, kind of listening at the door.
I call up, all clear, and just step away from the hatch.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and head down next.
All right. Do you just drop down? Like
No,
two bricks do, or do you use the ladder?
I use the ladder.
Okay.
like an adult.
Like a gunshot victim.
Yeah, nobody's really asked you if you were okay after that. Alright, so y'all all get down there. Yank pulls his ear away from the door, puts his hat back on. I don't hear anything.
Is there any paneling in the room or signs or anything like that?
No, it's just an empty room with that ladder.
Alright.
You know, about the size of a janitor's closet, but like I said, there's nothing else in here.
Is there a keypad by the door or a switch or even a doorknob?
There's one of those handles, you know, you grab it, pull it down, and it opens.
Well, I do that.
Okay, yeah, it opens without any trouble. There is a keypad on the outside. You know, on the wall next to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, but the door wasn't locked. You're not hearing, there's no alarms blaring. The door steps out into a hallway. And you can tell it, you know, as it goes along, it's obviously slanting down. You know, deeper into the volcano.
How's the hallway lit?
Some kind of fluorescent lights.
I'll take point, because I'm the bulletproof one.
Let's see. The Yank falls in behind you. You make your way down the hallways for a while. And it ends in a elevator. And it looks like a pretty standard, kind of old school elevator. There's no fancy keypad on the outside, there's just the button. You know, if you press it, it takes a, you know, 40 seconds, maybe a minute. Then you hear the elevator come up behind the door, and the door opens. There's the little typical little ding. Stepping aside,
I don't know if I could have hit you.
there's a keypad, but it only looks like it's only got about 5 floors. The floor you're on being the top one.
Oh. Floors 4 to 5. Where do y'all want to go first?
I'm assuming that below's floor would be the most critical. I mean, if since the entrance is on top, I would imagine that the lower we go, the more crucial the contents of the floor will be.
It's a super scientist. I doubt he has anything on the in-between floors. It's going to be more important.
Well, the floors basically go from how y'all are doing it, 4 down to 1, and then below 1 there's a B.
Let's go to the spooky murder basement. And I hit the button.
It starts dropping down. It's playing elevator music.
Oh my God, it is this is a diabolical supervillain's hideout.
The Yank just looks at you. What are you talking about? It's Beethoven.
Just stick it in an elevator, and suddenly all the joy in life is sucked out of the music. You'll understand once you acclimate to the modern world.
It's a common, both a common thing for there to be music in an elevator, and also a common thing for people to be agitated by the music in an elevator.
Oh.
And
okay.
no one operating the buttons for us.
Yeah, I noticed that, but villain base.
Everything's mostly just automated now. You don't have to worry about overshooting a floor or anything like that.
Oh. Well, that does seem nice.
Yeah.
Hope all those
It's
guys are able to find
uglier.
work, though.
Huh.
So it rides down. It's not a very long elevator ride. You get to the bottom, there's another ding, and it opens. Into a hallway. It's well lit. If the button hadn't been labeled B, there's nothing about this place that would make you assume it was the basement. Because, the top floor didn't have any windows either, so. Off in the distance, you hear a little bit of, I guess you'd say, giggling. And what might sound like a welding torch.
I don't like it. I don't like this. It's never good when they're giggling.
I mean, we're probably going to show up just as he finishes his big new Doom robot.
Yeah. Big guy told us there'd be days like this.
Who told you?
Don't worry about it.
Yank's like, okay, this maybe we can catch him before he turns it on. Same marching order, bulletproof guys in front.
Yep.
Okay. Who's bringing up the rear, just out of curiosity?
I guess Seth, since he doesn't have a choice.
All right. You move down the hallway. There's side rooms. If you glance in a few of them, there's a lot of equipment. One room's got these big, basically like big metal 3D printers that are cranking something out. Looks like some kind of plating. You can't really tell what it's for. At least not without going in and investigating closely. As you proceed down the hallway, you do hear the... It's not always giggling. Sometimes it's just a little bit of laughter. It sounds like somebody's having a good time. It's definitely a weld. You can tell now it's definitely a welding torch somebody's using. So do you just proceed to the Jolly Welder, or are y'all going to investigate some of these side rooms and the equipment?
Hang us off a little bit to poke around in there, just to maybe give us a heads up of what you might find at the end of the hallway.
Okay. Give me an awareness roll. Don't know that there are any specialties that would help you specifically.
Would my technology factor into this?
As far as figuring out what it is, you're right. Yeah, that probably would.
Not bad, but not the best.
All right, the big 3D printer. You go up and you kind of look at the shape it's making. You look over at the readout that's telling you kind of, it lists the material, It's this very high tensile strength steel alloy. The basic shape of it, it almost makes you think of like a chest plate. So it might be for a suit of armor, it might be for a robot chassis.
Might be for a weird death trap board game thing. Those are popular.
All right.
Is it plugged in anywhere?
Arcade knockoff. Okay. Do what now?
Is it plugged in anywhere?
Yeah, it's plugged into a socket on the wall.
I'm just gonna unplug it.
One of those big, like industrial size. Something's not, not a regular something you'd have in the house.
I'll just grab both hands and just pull it out of the wall.
Okay.
Yoink.
It's plugged in firmly, but nothing you need super strength to pull out. The machine goes dead. It just stops right where it's at. You hear a little alarm on the computer, against the wall. Like an error message Windows would give you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And sure enough, a little error has popped up. Power loss to fabricator number whatever, 13.
A lot of fabricators.
And there are some smaller ones in the room doing smaller parts of stuff too. And again, glancing at them, some of them look like they're probably robot parts. Some of them could be robot chassis or powered armor, or I guess regular armor. But
Sticking our heads out, my head back out in the hall. Do we still hear the welding torch and giggling?
Yes.
Alright, you want to bust this place up, or you want to head down the hall?
The Yank has walked around and basically after seeing you unplug it, everything else in the room, he just starts unplugging everything. He goes, we probably get answers faster just talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's head for the giggle. I want to see who our giggler is.
Catching him off guard seems more valuable than anything else, but he may also be a robot for all we know. Well, let's go find out.
Would it be better or worse if a random giggler was a robot?
Well, it's like
depends on the robot,
Well, it's like when you make a robot copy of yourself, and they do the same things you do, but they are a robot at the end of the day. They just do the same things you do.
Well, that's fair.
Now, if your Roomba starts giggling, then you have a problem.
All right, you make your way down. Give me, Zach, since you're in the front, give me an awareness roll.
Yes, sir. Nice.
The dice do not like me today. Which just isn't fair, because they didn't like me last night either. Me and the guys were playing Zombie Side. I died first, but we all died badly.
That's a fun game.
It is. But boy, when it starts to go bad, it goes bad quick.
Yeah.
Though in my case, it was a tactical blunder. Alright, so you got a 10. Difficulty was a 5, so that's a major success. So, you step forward on one section of floor, and you kind of feel the click through your shoe. You immediately throw yourself back, knocking the Yank back some, as the floor just drops open in front of you. you've got about a 5 foot square of the hallway that just trapdoor, just drops like a trapdoor. Underneath it, you hear splashing and the snapping of teeth.
Oh, I don't want to hurt this guy, but we're probably gonna have to do it. I mean, look at that. That was a classic pit trap. Are those alligators down there? I take out my phone and shine my flashlight down there.
I vote for sharks.
No, it's like big alligator. The Yank kind of looks over. That was a classic back in my day. There's. He's like, how did they get alligators? Are alligators aren't native to the Pacific, are they?
They really aren't.
It could have been on like the. Let's see. That's a good question. I mean, it's conceivable they could have been on like just the random, islands that dot the ocean.
But it's not like it's opening up into a natural anything. I mean, this is metal walls, pool of water. You got like 5 alligator heads snapping.
Well, they do have alligators in China. I can say that much so far.
Well, yeah, you got some kind of crocodile morph most places. But but the Yank's looking at it going, that looks like a Florida alligator. He must have imported them.
You can see owned by Disney stamp on them. That's how you know they're from Florida.
But after a minute or so, they stop snapping and they just settle back down, and the trapdoor raises back up. You hear a click as it clicks back into place.
Well, if this place doesn't explode, we need to find a way to get them out of here, Protected species and all that.
Yank's like, why would you protect alligators? Florida's lousy with them.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of consequences to rampant industrialization since you, got stuck here. We'll catch up to speed.
There's a lot of animals that there are now a lot less of than there used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
We fixed the hole in the ozone layer.
After we made the hole in the ozone layer.
There was a hole in the...
Does he know what an ozone layer is?
I suspect people knew what it was back then, at least to some
Yeah.
He is not particularly a science guy, so he might not. He just sort of nods like, oh, y'all fixed that. Good.
It was discovered in 1913.
So he would potentially know that the ozone layer is the thing that exists, but not really know what it's compromised of.
He was more of a history sort than a science sort.
Yeah.
How did you put a hole in the sky?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Women's hair products, that's how we did it. So he takes a step back and then does like a little leap, half fly over to the other side. Then he looks at Helios. Are we going to fly everybody across, or do you just want to throw them? I mean, it's 5 foot. Y'all are all fairly athletic. Y'all could probably jump it.
Yeah, like, if anybody's, like, puppet, I will just carry you across the pit. Like, just a little hop.
Can I just create a bridge?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's doable.
just seal the pit temporarily.
There's just an extra little 2-inch layer of steel across the top of that part of the floor now.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Maybe I'll prop it up. Maybe if we can get the doors propped open, I can kind of like create a makeshift bridge / clamp to keep it open, so at least people don't get caught unawares by the death trap.
Okay. So yeah, so you can kind of reach your foot out and trigger it again. It drops. The alligator starts snapping again. Zach, give me an intelligence roll for Helios.
Sure, just a straight intelligence roll.
Yes.
7.
Oh, I guess I did need a roll difficulty for you. Okay. You know, you're pretty sure it's weird, but those alligators are snapping in the exact same pattern they did the first time.
Oh, they're robot alligators.
Oh, those are cool too.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps up with the aesthetic, and I understand. It's better not to use endangered animals for this, but still.
And about the same amount of time passes, and then they calm down, and then the door tries to raise, but, Transmuter has basically put jams in it where it won't. But there's no further response. Y'all moving around the top. None of the alligators are looking at you or moving anymore.
I guess they'd be easier to maintain too. I mean, how often do you actually get intruders out here to feed them, right?
Yank's just shaking his head. Seems like a lot of effort, though.
A lot
Well-
of supervillains do seems like a lot of effort.
And also, the one we're chasing brags about going toe-to-toe with the big leagues, so
Yeah.
he wants to keep the aesthetic that he's probably held throughout the years, but it gets harder and harder to find good alligators.
You know the Primus, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, this guy came back in like the 60s, and he lasted like 5 minutes against him one-on-one, which, good for you. Just never shut up about it afterwards.
He's like, yeah, I never worked with Primus much. Met him a time or two when I was over on the European front.
Was he as much of a dick then as he was now?
Hey.
Hey.
Yank looks mildly offended.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
Would you say that he looks at you, and then he sort of glances over at Transmuter, and he back at you? No, he seemed fine. Like I said, I didn't know him real well. He seemed like a nice enough guy. Friendly enough, always talked to the troops.
Guess he was a little bit more calm and a little bit more chill in his younger days.
Anyway.
Yeah, Yank still still sort of side eyeing you. Such language in front of the ladies or lady. Which Transmuter might find amusing, because goodness knows the Oxford Commando has not
Oh, right.
has not censored himself around you. Though thinking about it, he is always a lot more careful in his speech around your mother.
Well, yes, that's how it always is. It's always how it always is with these trainer types. They always put on their best face in front of the parents.
Or maybe he looks at you as a soldier. Who knows?
Oh, he most certainly does.
But anyway, it's just a few more doors down, and there's an open door, and you hear the welding coming up from inside it. You hear a voice humming a little tune, laughing every now and then.
Yeah, walk inside.
Oh, yes, he's going to love this. Love it! And then he laughs, goes back to welding. He does not notice you step into the room. He's welding, and he's got a little welding, he's got one of those just little welding masks pulled down.
That sentence scares me.
Can we see what he's working on?
Some sort of big robot.
The fact that he said he's gonna love it has me so worried.
The robot is essentially probably 8 to 10 feet tall. Well, tall if he was standing up. It's laying down on almost like a big metal bed or platform. And it looks like he's attaching pieces of the like outside chassis. So there is a big chest section that's like opened up.
I'm just gonna walk over and close the valves on the gas cylinders for his welding torch.
Psst. What's that? He looks up, he adjusts the handle, he shakes it, he raises the helmet, he turns around in his chair. Like he was gonna check the tank and he sees you standing there. Oh, hello.
Hi. My name's Helios.
Oh, pleased to meet you. He reaches out and shakes your hand, or he offers his hand to shake. Are you one of Anton's friends?
I shake his hand a little bit and say, sure. Do you know where he is?
Oh, I imagine he's around here somewhere.
And could I get your name?
I'm Arthur.
Pleasure to meet you, Arthur. I think
I'm
Anton's told us about
father.
you.
Or, no, he's Anton's grandfather.
Pleasure to meet you. Oh, this is a beauty you got working on here. What's its capabilities?
It's like, oh, well, yeah, it's primarily, sort of the tanky combatant. Should be able to take a lot of damage. It's strong,
getting these bipedal robots
should be able to pick up a train car without too much trouble.
Oh, that has a good bit of muscle on there, and it's not just how strong everything is inside. It's getting it to actually balance properly and adjust its weight. That's really, really neat.
Oh yes, I perfected that sort of work years ago, back before I retired. This one is special because it has 4 units that work alongside it.
Oh,
and then they combine into a bigger robot.
Oh,
Anton loved those cartoons as a kid. He'll love it.
I mean, who doesn't?
I used to make toys for him all the time when he was little. I'm so happy that he's got me making stuff for him again.
So you sound like you were a really, really good grandpa.
Well, I worked a lot when he was, when my son was younger, and I've tried to make it up with Anton. You've brought some other people, some of his other friends. And he goes to introduce himself to you, and then he stops and he looks at the Yank. Well, that's an old-fashioned costume you're wearing. I used to read the funny books about the real Yank when I was a kid. And the Yank just, he looks at you, he looks at this guy. And this guy's old. I mean, this guy is 90 if he's a day. And you know how if you're talking to somebody that maybe it's in the early stages of dementia, or something like how you can start talking to them and then you kind of catch on as you're talking to them. You realize there might be an issue.
Yeah.
He's almost got that going on. That you're kind of starting to get that vibe off of him, because he seems completely oblivious. Like he recognizes the Yank's costume, but he hasn't really commented that the rest of you are wearing costumes.
I'm not liking this guy. We're gonna have to fight. Doing this to his grandpa. And that's just me saying it, not Helios.
But you needed a what were you here for?
Oh, we were just stopping by to say hi. actually, our ship triggered some of the island's defense systems, and we're kind of stuck here right now. Like, it's understandable. Like, we didn't activate the IFF, our little IFF device. That's all on us.
Oh, well, let me call Anton. And if nobody stops, he walks up to a little speaker console thing in the wall, hits a button.
While he's turned away, can I just sort of like start unplugging things quietly from the open panel in the robot's chest?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to get out and out smash shit in front of the guy.
Yeah. And at a glance, it does not look like the insides are anywhere near finished.
Okay.
But yeah, you can still start unplugging wires. Maybe crossing wires, or whatever you want to do.
Oh, this is actually genuinely amazing craftsmanship. Oh,
Yes.
oh
Looks very
no.
old. The outside aesthetic is kind of old-fashioned, though it's not his usual aesthetic. He was trying to mimic, robots of the 80s. And some of the bright colors really does make you think of like old Mattel toys. But anyway. But yeah, you can unplug some stuff. He gets on the intercom, and you can hear his voice kind of echoing through the hallways. Anton, could you come down to the basement? Some of your friends are here. I think we may have shot their plane down by accident.
That's on us.
Let me get you some tea. And he walks over to where there's like almost like a little kitchenette in the corner. And it starts like fixing a pot of tea.
I whisper into Transmuter's ear, can you neutralize poisons?
If it's organic, no. Well, actually, no. I don't. That's not. It's not a restriction.
Yeah, it's not organic. It's living.
Yeah.
You can't take a living thing. Dead wood, fine. A living tree, you couldn't do anything with.
I guess the real question is, can I detect it, the poison in the first place? Can I scan for known poisonous substances to see if any are present in?
That would probably be some sort of ESP or super senses or something to be able to detect that stuff.
Yeah, that might be a power. That might be a power stunt, but I can do it.
I've got two ranks.
Yeah,
in
you
super
definitely
senses.
power stunt to do it for sure. What was that, Tyler?
I've got 2 ranks in super senses.
Wow.
You just take a sniff of it. Yep, definitely arsenic.
That's something that will kill all you other fools. Though I doubt very seriously we're going to get poisoned with Grandpa in the room.
Yeah.
Well, if it's
Unless he just has an immunity after years of exposure.
You never know with these
That is the sort of thing a 50s or 60s supervillain might do. Oh no, I've built an immunity to this poison.
I'm immune to your bullets. I've shot myself with lower caliber for years.
exactly.
That sounds like something that'd be in a Shaolin kung fu movie.
Right. Can I discreetly neutralize all the arsenic in the tea?
Well, I was joking about him smelling the arsenic. That was something he could have done.
Okay. Okay, never mind. That's good.
No, I mean, you're watching him fix it, and it looks like just standard tea bags out of I don't know, Bigelow, whatever some of the tea brands are. I don't drink tea, so. But yeah, he's just making a pot of Earl Grey. Though the box does say it's decaffeinated, but he is 90. Maybe he doesn't need the caffeine.
Yeah.
Or maybe caffeine and mad scientists don't mix. Who knows? You never hear a response through the comm unit, though. By the time the tea is finished, he's pouring cups. Come, help yourself. And he just lets you grab whatever cups you want to grab, and he takes whatever one's left. Where is that boy? It's rude to leave guests down here like this.
You know where he might be? He might either be too caught up in his work to have heard, or he might have fallen asleep.
Well, he likes to watch TV in the command center on the big screen too.
Might have the volume up too high. Kids, you know.
Yes. From outside, you start to hear metal on metal, you know, heavy footsteps. Sounds like several pairs of feet headed your way.
What direction?
Sounds like it's coming from the direction of the elevator. So the direction y'all came from.
All right. Do you know what floor the command center is on? Well, we've never actually been here before. And he didn't exactly give the best directions for his lair.
Oh, well, you know, it is top secret. He taps his forehead.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But it's on the second floor.
Second floor, okay. All right, we'll just head over there to give him a little shout. Take the tea if it's ready, and just sort of sip at it, and then head back towards the door.
It was very nice meeting you all.
Lovely meeting you too, Arthur.
And as you walk out the door, he's back over there. He's adjusting the gas again. Goes back to his welding. As you start down the hallway, about the time y'all are getting to the robot alligator pit, you can see the robots coming. You can see robots coming down the hallway. The one in front, the head kind of, he kind of looks all y'all over, and you hear a voice come out of the probably speaker built into its chest. Where's my grandfather?
He's fine. He's back working on his new gift for you, and he also made us of lovely cups of tea.
Oh, you kind of hear quietly like, "Oh Lord."
What is it? Is the tea bad? I'm dead, so I can't really taste it.
I mean, it tastes fine to me. Like, how's his hygiene? Like, he washes his hands regularly, right? Like, this isn't poo tea, right?
gross old man hand tea.
What? No. Yeah, he washes.
Look, you made it sound like
this is not how this sort of interaction is supposed to. It's supposed to go down. All right, let's refocus. Robots, kill them. That's how this is supposed to go. And all the robots bring their weapon arms up.
That's just rude.
All right, so coordination rolls for initiative.
You're adorable.
We're having such a
thank you.
good time.
Nice, so high initiatives all around.
Well, hopefully that trend will continue. As I roll for the robots.
Oof.
Well, that's not good. So it's a 1 on the dice plus their coordination. Let me just say yeesh. Alright, so they're going on a 3. Helios, let's see. Transmuter on an 11. Oh, somebody give me a d6 roll for the Yank. He has a coordination of 4.
I'll take it out. He said 4, right?
Yes.
10.
So Helios on a 10, followed by the Fighting Yank on a 10. And then we have Puppet on a 7. And Robots on a 3. Okay. There are 8 robots. Most of them, 7 of them look like identical models, like they just stamped them out of the same machine. Not much, don't look much different from the ones you fought at the convention. The one that was speaking to you is bulkier and seems to have a different layout of equipment in it on its limbs. They're all, more or less humanoid shaped. On top of the order is Transmutor.
All right. I would like to say dissolve. See, I feel like. Well, we already know he's on the second. We can already guess he's on the second floor. So I'll just go ahead and see if I can just entirely dissolve the lead robot.
Okay.
That'll be a coordination test.
Yes.
Oh, here we are.
Oh, wait. That reminds me the lead robot should have had his own initiative. I'll go with the same roll and just bump it up by his stat. So he'll go on a 5. Alright. So that's a 10 to hit him. And he got a 10, so you get half effect.
Oh, interesting. Well, can I
half effect for damage. What does that actually do on me?
Well, there's 2 ways you can handle. You can look at this. Given that I can normally like a building worth of stuff, you could say half a building and say it's all goes up in smoke, or just say, take off its limbs, the equipment to the limbs, or maybe even take up all its limbs, but the torso is still intact, complete with the chest box.
Okay. I think we'll go with the limb ideal. So it staggers back. Some of the chest plating may have dissolved or may have turned into whatever you were turning it into as well. But yeah, the limbs are pretty much completely gone. And there's kind of a screech that comes over the, kind of a feedback screech that comes over the,
Oh, sorry, everyone.
over the speech box.
You're fine.
Do you know how expensive these things are?
I have no idea.
Next up is Helios.
I'd actually like to just wade into the thick of them and power stunt a shockwave, just giving doing a burst attack with my strength to damage. And I'd like to tap knows exactly how terrifying he can be and just bring both my fists together just as hard as I can.
All right, so you're doing a little leap, and you're doing like a Hulk ground pound. Both fists up, slamming them down on the floor as you land. All right.
A prowess test, correct?
Yes. Versus the robots.
Oop. Ooh, not good.
Nope. All right, I'm gonna go down the list, and then the last one will be the kind of boss robot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So it is a 7, 8, 9 for the first one. All right, so the first one. Wait, number 8, the boss. All right, so the first one avoids the attack. Basically, manages to keep it to balance. The shockwave doesn't actually knock it or do it any damage. 3, 4, 5. That one takes half damage. 5, 6, 7. The next one is fine. Number 4 is fine. Number 5 is fine. Oh no, number 5 takes half. Because that was a tie. Oh wait, did you have a 5 or a 6? Make sure I'm counting this right.
I had a 5.
Okay. Okay, then the one that rolled a 1 will take full damage. And then the last 2, 1 tied, and the boss will take full damage.
Half damage is 3, full damage is 7.
All right. So that is 3 points. 3 points. 7. And 7. The boss has got a little bit of damage reduction, so. Alright. Alright, so you have some effect. You can see where some of them took damage, probably from flying floor shrapnel as much as anything.
You're so
But
silly.
they're all still on their feet. And after Helios, it is the Fighting Yank. Let's see. He has a strength. Well, let's see. Technically a strength of 3, but the ability boost from the cloak. Alright, so his strength is effectively an 8. So he's just going to charge in and hit the nearest robot. Somebody give me a prowess check. He has a prowess of 4 plus martial arts master.
So
So that's a total of a
plus
plus
3.
7?
So
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright. First is the prowess of the robot, which is a 4 plus 2. These guys have martial arts 1, so that's actually 3. So he got a 7. That's a good hit. And they have 8 stamina. He does 8 damage. The first one goes down.
Hey.
Then it is Puppet.
Alright, well, I'd be kind of embarrassed if the Fighting Yank died, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a force field.
Okay.
So a rank 5 force field on him.
Alright. Help me remember that if he takes any damage.
Alright.
Force field on the Yank.
And then I'll politely ask, Mr. Arthur, do we have to go through all this?
Well, no, Arthur was the old man. He said
Oh,
his
sorry,
son
Anton.
was, Anton.
Sorry, Mr. Anton.
You hear a little bit of profanity. Oh, he told you my name.
I'm sorry, do you have a preferred moniker?
Well, I was just going to use. I'm not talking about this with you.
I feel like I'm the perfect person to talk about this. I won't tell a living soul. Also, if I'm going to be dead anyway, you might as well workshop it.
I was just going to use Professor Mechaniacal like my grandfather did. I mean, it's his equipment.
Oh, okay.
It's not my fault he's got a power and I do.
Now, don't be jealous of the dead. I'll blush.
And then while they're talking, the rest of the robots continue to move forward. Oh, right, the boss bot goes first. In that case, the conversation gets cut off as the boss robot uses its speaker for offensive purposes.
Oh, sonic attack on the way.
It's a sonic attack on the way. All right. This is functioning like stun. But it is area effect. Somebody sounds adorable.
He is very adorable.
Where is it? Stun. Alright, so it's area effect, it's stun. This will be versus your core. Hold on. This is versus your strength scores, because it's sound, I'm going to assume, kind of physical.
Okay.
We roll prowess to defend.
Now, it is coordination versus coordination to make the attack. Basically, to say, I guess if you slap your hands over your ears in time to block out some of it.
Ignore that first roll then. I got a 7.
Okay. And the attack. Let's see. His coordination is a 5. His gun skill does not hit him with this particular attack, so it's just a d6 plus 5. Alright, so I rolled a 1 on the dice, plus 5. The difficulty is only a 6. So it will be half effect on Transmuter. Helios beats it. I need a roll for the Fighting Yank. A d6 plus 8. And Puppet. Alright, the Yank is fine. Slaps hands over his ears. And then Taylor, did you roll for Puppet or? There he is.
Wait, what was the challenge rating?
D6 plus your strength. Oh, I'm sorry. This was coordination. My bad.
Oh. I got a 5.
So you got a total of a 5. And his, let's see, where am I at? And it was a 6. All right, so now versus the stun effect, I need a roll from Transmuter and Puppet. The difficulty for Puppet is it's your strength versus the regular power. Alright, so Puppet, you need to beat a 7, because I rolled another 1. Plus the 6 ranks.
Hey, got a 9.
Alright, so it hurts your ears, but it doesn't do any real damage. And then transmuter has to roll versus half the effect. But I rolled a 5 that time, so the difficulty is 8.
And which attribute am I rolling?
Strength.
Gotcha. Strength test. Oh.
Oh, but you still managed to beat it. So yeah, picture any kind of sonic weapon you've heard in a cartoon going off. That's pretty much what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
As you all try to clap your hands over your ears. Doesn't affect the robots, of course. As it dies down, your ears are ringing. Though, like, the ones of you that made the coordination and got your hands over your ears in time, if you pull your hands down, you can hear Arthur kind of off in the distance. What's with all that noise? You know, trigger the sonic attacks indoors.
I call back. It's just a malfunction. I'm taking care of it, sir.
Alright, then it's the regular robots, of which there are 6 of them left. Helios and Yank are in the front, so they're unloading on them. I'll just do 3 apiece. They've got +2 to their they've got their coordination of 2, +1 for a gun skill, so they're rolling on +3s. So, doing the blasts against Helios first. There's 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them.
Oof. And 2 more rolls. We got a 4. Yeah.
Let's see here. So that is a... Okay. Alright, so that's an 8 versus a 6, so that one hits. Then it's a 4 and you rolled a 9, that one does not. Then I rolled a 6 and you rolled a 7. So only one of them hit.
Right. And they do how much damage?
These are doing 6 points of damage.
That tingles, but it does not hurt.
Alrighty. And then versus the Yank, which is another 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Give me, baby girl. I'll put it on.
So if you want to give me a roll, give me 3 rolls for the Yank.
And his coordination is...
His coordination is 4. And he has nothing that will help him dodge.
Does he have martial arts? Oh,
He has martial arts, but that does not help him versus ranged.
Right.
It's athletics or acrobatics or something like that helps versus range.
Oh my god, untangle it.
7, 10, 7.
All right, he dodged them all.
Oh my goodness. Look at that snugget.
Then we're back to the top of the order with Transmuter.
All right. So, is it possible to dissolve the flooring underneath the robots so that I don't
Come fast. Those wings used to be loose.
trap friends?
You were popping in and out there, Mike. What was it you said?
Oh, sorry. Transmuter would like to just simply dissolve the flooring underneath the robots, but can she do that to any of them without also potentially sending her friends vomiting as well?
I would say you could do it under most of the robots. I would say the ones, let's see. I would say that they would being careful not to accidentally pull in Yank or Helios. I'd say there'd be 3 of the robots close enough to them that you probably couldn't drop them without affecting your allies.
Okay. I would like to do that then.
Okay.
And ideally, I think about maybe just kind of doing this round by round until we get to the second floor, if possible.
Doing what round by round?
Just opening up the floor beneath us and just making our way to.
Well, y'all are in the
second-
basement right now. Y'all went down to the very, very, very bottom level.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Scratch that.
But yeah, you
let's
definitely
see.
make a little shaft to drop the most of the robots into.
All right, yeah. Let's just stick to the plan then. Even.
Give me a coordination roll versus their coordination. You'll be making the pit regardless, but this would be whether or not they can scramble out of the way.
Gotcha.
But their coordination is only a 2, so. Alright, so they got a 5, but you got a 7. So 2 of the normal robots and the boss robot are still up top. All the rest of them are falling into the pit.
Neat.
And you hear a crashing noise, and maybe they take damage, maybe they don't. They can't. They're not going to be able to crawl out anytime soon. So you have drastically reduced the number of combatants y'all have to worry about. Helios.
All right. I'm gonna punch the boss robot in the face.
Okay.
Oof.
He dodges.
That's what I get for using the anti-gun combo against a robot.
So yeah, you go for a swing, and he pulls a classic little kind of boxer move. I mean, just without holding his hands up in front of him because he doesn't have hands right now. Somebody dissolved his arms. All right, give me a roll for the the Yank is going to go after the undamaged regular robot that's up there with you. So if you want to give me a roll for him, his coordination or his prowess is a 4 plus martial arts mastery. I think we said it was a total of a +7.
Yeah.
And their coordination is a 2.
Bottom up, body bag, Yank.
All right. Well, regular robot did his very best. So he got an 8. Yank beat him by 3 though. So it's enough damage to destroy him. Plus there would have been a potential for a knockback. So yeah, he goes flying back, kind of arcs back, and sort of half hits on the other side of the pit. But then the bottom half of him falls into the pit and drags the rest of him. But he was clearly scrapped by the time he was hitting the edge. So you have one damaged robot and the boss, who is also badly damaged. It was Helios, the Fighting Yank, Puppet.
Oh, how many robots left?
There is the boss robot who is taking some damage, and one of the regular robots that is also taking some damage. And they're both, basically there's a pit in the ground is a pit just behind them.
I'll run up and try to kind of prep myself to help the next person that'll do damage to the robot.
Okay. Alright, and then after Puppet, it is the robots. You know what, Puppet? Give me a... Since nobody goes after you, describe to me how you're going to help them, and we'll try to put a condition on them where you have helped.
I was hoping to just kind of like get in a position to time for like if one of them does a bull rush into it for me to also like clip it from the side.
Okay.
I'm just kind of prepped and ready to just kind of
Where's your
Okay, so
wheat at?
you're just wanting to
bull
use
rush
kind of
alongside someone.
the
yeah.
other action sort of thing. Okay. We'll just remember that that's what you're doing the next time.
You're just a freaking tornado, Miss Ma'am. Be careful.
Then it is the boss
Yeah,
robot.
I saw that. You almost fell.
And the boss robot is going to try to... well, Helios tried to punch him. He's going to try to kick Helios.
Seems like
Good
an overreaction,
old-fashioned
but okay.
Spartan kick. Alright, so he's got a coordination of, or a prowess of 5, plus a level of martial arts. So he got a 10.
Damn.
Well, at least I'm not the only one getting ones. Alright, so that is a 8, 9, 10. So... okay, so yes, it doesn't trigger anything special. He does 7 points of damage with this kick.
Okay, yeah, I felt that.
Okay,
He got me in the soft bits.
Alright, but like I said, it did not trigger any knockbacks or anything like that. So, and then the regular robot that's left, he saw that Helios was basically blaster proof, but nobody has successfully hit the Yank yet, so he will shoot at the Yank. There's really no point in rolling between the Yank, especially the Yank's defense, and especially with a force shield piled on top of him. You know, hit or miss, it's not going to do anything.
Okay.
And that gets back to the top of the order with Transmuter.
All right. One robot left.
One robot and the boss robot.
The boss robot. Okay. Let me see if I can just. Is there a separate specialty for technology, or does that fall under the science specialty?
I believe science and technology are two separate things.
Okay. I was going to do something clever, but I'm not. So I will. Let's just see if I can dissolve that regular robot.
You're silly.
Alright, so your coordination versus his. I'm just double checking to make absolutely sure I'm right about the. About the technology thing. Yes, they are separate. Alright. Alright then. His coordination is a 2. You got any major success on him? So he turns into whatever you wanted to turn him into.
Can I turn him into a big stuffed teddy bear? Or
Yeah, I wouldn't really have a problem with that, you know.
how clever can I get? Because if I can get really clever, I'd like to turn him into a Oxford Commando pinata.
You probably know the chemical composition of paper mache, so
Yeah, oh, that's like a little too complicated for, especially for like on the fly kind of under duress kinds of transformations. But that would be basically be it.
okay. It's not super detailed. It's very vaguely humanoid paper mache all of a sudden. Maybe in the Oxford Commandos colors.
Yeah, that's really all I need.
and then it kind of drops over. Probably cracks when it hits the ground, but no candy spills out.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe just simple, like, I don't know, something simple like goose feathers or whatever.
And then it is Helios.
Punching the robot.
All right. And Puppet is basically stepping up to kind of assist you in any way he can. So give yourself a +2.
Alrighty, thank you.
Well, give yourself advantage. You can take it as a +2 to the attempt, or a +1 to the result.
Let's go with a +2 to the result.
You mean a +1 to the result?
+1, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so he's got a prowess of 5, +1 level of martial arts. Ooh, he got a 12. He rolled max. Is that with the? Oh no, you were going plus to the effect. So
Yeah.
So that is a major success on an evade, effectively. So does that mean he gets a +2 punching you next round, or his next action?
I think he gets just an automatic hit off on me.
You know, that might be it. That might be it. If jumping, attacking, blocking. Okay, now I thought evade was its own thing. Where is it at? Well, it's one of them things that I know I've read before somewhere, but I can't find it in the book right at this very moment. But I know there's something to that effect in here. But you said you thought it was that he got an auto attack?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll just run with that then. I'll find it for sure later. Alright. So he got a 12 on that attack. Or were you saying it was an auto hit?
It was an auto attack. So,
Okay. So he made a 12 on the attack roll, so go ahead and see if you can dodge.
Alright.
Or evade, whatever it's called.
Oof. Not quite.
Alright, so that was 7 points.
Gonna need some Tylenol after this.
Alright,
Maybe
give
some
me a roll for the Fighting Yank.
Wait, 7? Oh,
He's got a prowess of 4 and a martial arts master. So yeah, 7 is the correct.
no, the dice rolled a 7. Like somehow compounded had been selected for the roll type.
Oh, okay. I got you. So you got a 12. That's a tie. So the Yank takes 3.
Oof.
Well, I mean, it's half damage of 3, and then I apply his, invincibility cloak, if you want to call it that, and the force shield Puppet put on him. So the robot connects but does nothing. Oh wait,
Oh,
was that in the Fighting Yank? I've gotten out of order some kind of way. No, he was dodging, not attacking. I'm sorry. I've gotten myself all confused after trying to look stuff up.
Sorry.
Because that was him dodging.
There's no one at the door.
Alright, Helios blocked. The robot got a free attack. Then it was the Fighting Yank's turn. That was the fight. Yeah, so that was the Yank punching. And they tied, so it's half effect on the Yank. Or half effect from the Yank to the robot. Okay. I promise I've done this sort of. I promise I've run games before. So half attack, half effect coming from the Yank would be 4. So yeah, the robot takes no damage. Then we move down to puppet. All right, I think I've got things sorted in my head now. All right, puppet, your turn.
I'll go ahead and I'll throw a force shield on transmuter as well.
Okay. Now I forget. Are your force shields visible?
Fairly.
Do you say fairly or barely?
Fairly. It's cosmic power, so it looks kind of funky, I suppose. You know, it's got that light blue tinge that the power tends to have.
Okay.
Kirby dots, perhaps?
Well, you know, we're all the power prime nonsense happening with us.
Oh, yeah.
So my cosmic power is essentially just using that.
Yeah, the power primeval.
Yeah. So it's got that coloration the power primeval has.
All right. So there's a faint glow coming off the people with force shields. Okay. Then it is the main robot. He is going to try to kick. Hey, he's gonna try to kick Helios again.
And boop boop. Oh, now I get a big number against him. A usable big number.
And you were blocking.
That's just a standard prowess roll. With bonuses attached. I just use the block roll I built.
Okay. All right, so he misses. You beat him by. Well, you beat him by 4, so that's a massive success. So you should get a free shot on him.
Nice. Roll less than a 12, please.
Well, I rolled my absolute minimum. All right, so you do your full damage, which is 7. So that is. So yeah, he rocks back. You know, some armor plating goes flying off, but he is still up. It doesn't look like he's got much left in him, but he is still up. And then all the regular robots are gone. Top of the order is Transmutor.
All right. I'll try one more time to just vaporize this.
Baby girl. That's not a toy, is he?
All right, and this is versus his coordination, so he doesn't have any pluses for that. All right, but you beat him.
You'll break.
So the robot kind of, you know, he's rocking back from that punch, and just about the time he's starting to catch his balance, he just sort of turning him into helium, or Or are you doing your pinata trick again?
Just helium.
Okay. Yeah, so he just kind of goes. Poof.
Cool.
And now the hall is silent.
Did you find the butterfly?
Except for the skittering of the robots down in the pit, as some of them are still moving around. But they're not having any luck trying to climb up the sheer wall, so.
Thank you. See, he has little wings.
Uh-oh. Just a second. Everything in my window suddenly went.
Ooh.
But none of it actually closed, so we're good. All right. All right. So
Is he flying?
you have cleared out the bad guys, and you can make your way to the elevator without any trouble.
Before we go to the second floor, I'm going to rip off a strip of the back of the strip of metal off the back of the elevator to expose the shaft.
Okay.
Man, don't start.
Basically, just make it easier to, in case I don't know, this thing has like a pit trap itself. Like
Is he?
they release the cables and it starts dropping downwards. I can just slam my fist into the wall and stop it.
Oh, come on, man. What's the chances of that happening?
Very likely.
All right, so you hit the second floor. It pulls you up from the basement to the first floor. Probably up to the second floor, and then the elevator has a slow halt. And then there's this loud sort of clicking. Not really a snap. But it's a very distinctive noise, and you feel a slight vibration. And then, sure enough, the whole elevator car starts to drop.
I just slam both my fists into the exposed elevator shaft wall.
And the car jerks to a halt. You had dropped 4 or 5 inches tops. Since you were sitting there basically going, I'm ready for this to happen.
Clown!
Yank steps forward and kind of puts his fingers in the elevator door and pries the elevator door open. And y'all had basically gotten to the second floor, so you're on the proper floor. You just have a little step up out of the elevator now.
Could transmuter fuse the elevator to the wall so I can, get off without falling?
Yeah, I could do that, right?
What's that now?
Use the elevator to basically transmute the elevator so it won't, so it's attached to the wall and won't sink any further.
Oh yeah, you could figure something out.
Yeah.
You found another one? He has pretty wings, doesn't he? Is he? Let's see.
All right, so y'all climb up into the second floor.
And what wonders does the second floor hold for us?
Just another, fairly wide, fairly bright lit corridor. Though this one has carpeting. For the top floor and the basement, it was just, tiled floor.
Yeah.
This one, there's some potted plants around. You see this like little little wheeled, I guess you'd have to say robot, little wheeled robot that's rolling up to one of the plants and pouring water into it.
Oh, it's so cute.
Pays no attention to you. It's like it's doing its rounds, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of stays over to the edge of the hall. There's a slight flowery fragrance in the air. As you step down the hallway, looking at some of the side rooms, you're seeing, you know, almost looks like a living room or, you know, guest room. This looks like a live-in area.
Okay, so there's probably not any booby traps in here.
Other than maybe fun joke ones.
Yeah.
They are still supervillains after all.
Yeah.
But, so you begin exploring this level?
Yep.
Okay. You start poking around, you know, you find some areas that are clearly bedrooms. All of them look like they've been lived in at some point. Some of them are kind of dusty. Not real bad dusty, because, you know, he's got robots to do stuff. But... And some of them, it's like there's a lot of toys and stuff in there, but they're clearly toys from, like, you know, the 70s or the 80s. You know, some of the rooms look like they've just been kind of left like they were. But one or two of them look like they're clearly, like, currently lived in. You know, there's a little pile of dirty clothes over in one corner or something. You know, just signs of current occupation. And then towards the center, you know, probably up against the kind of the wall of the actual caldera, you find a room with like a oversized door. You know, where the other doors in here look more like typical house doors. You know, this looks like a big oversized double door. You know, fancy conference room door sort of thing. It is shut.
I'm gonna kick him down.
Alrighty. Give me a strength roll. Let's see, what is the material strength? Because they look relatively, other than size, look relatively normal, but they are something a little bit tougher. Alright, so you got a 12. Oh, they got a 7. So yeah, both of them just, you kick just dead center, both of them just go flying off, torn off the handles. They land the floor and they skid up close to this. It's like a big round table with the center out of it, you know, surrounded by chairs. There's a big holographic display of the world in the center. Up against the back wall, there's a huge monitor with some smaller monitors. It looks like it's got various like news programs and stuff around the world. Over in the corner, you've got a slightly overweight man. Doesn't have a lot of hair up top anymore. Along the sides, he's fine. And it looks like he's trying to squeeze into some powered armor that's not quite the right size for him. And he looks up at you in kind of a panic. And he's trying to squeeze the chest plate and the back plate together.
Dr. Mechaniacal.
Professor.
My apologies. Professor Mechaniacal. I realize we're here a little premature to your fun and games. We're just here for an invisibility belt and to take a man who should have his life back home.
This is his home.
No, sorry. This is the original Fighting Yank. He's been on this island for a couple decades now.
How?
Magic. Now, about the radioactive invisibility belt, is that here?
Let me check the inventory. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. He stops trying to get the chest plates on. He's still wearing he's got kind of the pants section of it on. I can check the inventory, and he starts to step over to the computer.
I can take care of that, buddy. I just put my hand firmly but gently on his shoulder.
No, we don't have the belt anymore.
What happened to the belt?
Oh, Gramps took it apart to reverse engineering it.
Oh, okay.
Did he succeed? I mean, I assume he did because of the invisible missiles. Let me stress this, but
Yeah, he hasn't figured out how to make it any safer yet, but it works fine for missiles.
That's cool.
no, all right.
Yeah. So,
Have
what
either of you done anything illegal yet? Like, are we actually able to do any kind of punishment for this, or could we just go home?
He's been sending robots in to steal stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's how you found the island, was you tracked the signal back.
Yeah, we kind of do have to punish him, man.
I mean, we're pretty sure we can get your grandpa off on any charges because he's obviously sick. You're the asshole here. You know?
How about
You're the
asshole?
asshole.
I mean, I'm doing criminal stuff. Okay, fair enough. But look, it helps him to keep his mind active.
You don't have to have him build evil criminal robots. You can have him build like farm robots or like that cute little robot out there that was watering the plants. I'm taking that with me, by the way. I have house
That was my
plants.
grandmother. He built that for my grandmother.
Okay, you can keep it,
That would be.
but I'm
his
getting the
wife, Elias.
schematics.
Well, here's the looks like I appreciate you trying to keep your grandfather mentally healthy and aware and engaged in the world, but it seems like really your real purpose is just to have him kind of empower your winter wonderland here, your play chest of toys, which is a little that's still kind of dickish, honestly.
Oh no, it's all for its own good. But I couldn't have him build the stuff and then not use it. That'd be rude.
Really, invisible missiles? What good could come from invisible missiles?
That's home defense. I have not attacked anybody with invisible missiles.
They have to be invisible.
I don't know. Granddad seemed really proud of the invisible missiles.
Those were really impressive.
I mean, yeah. We're not here to devalue the scientific abilities that are happening inside this building.
But surely we could find a more generally useful or beneficial purpose for the greater good for everyone.
But also, you could just involve his super science in the world and be famous and probably rich.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, well, we're already pretty well. Why am I discussing this with you?
Mostly because we're here.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'd like to not repeat this over the next. I'm immortal. I'd like to not repeat this forever.
So, what happens now?
Well, first, could you please take off the undersized power armor? This is somehow worse than just finding you in your underwear.
Can I can I transform it so that it fits? Just as a show of good faith.
You're gonna make the powered armor fit?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just for nothing else.
All right, give me a roll with your powers. Difficulty is 9.
Watch me accidentally crush him. Oh,
Yep, you make the robot pants fit now.
how's that?
Oh, that's a lot better. Does it still work? And he hits a couple buttons on the belt. Oh, that's neat.
Trust me on this when I say this. If you try to do anything, funny in this moment,
You'll be in
I
your
will kick your ass so hard you'll be eating pudding for the rest of your life.
and you'll be doing it in your underwear.
And as you say that, the Yank standing behind you cracks his knuckles. Yeah,
That
the
man
guy-
has a lot of pent-up rage from the war.
the
just
guy,
saying.
The guy seems to have a sudden realization. I'm only my lower half is in armor. All right, so you managed to secure him, and his grandfather is safely puttering in the basement. So. A little bit later, your comms ping. You hear Sheridan's voice. Helios, transmuter, come in.
We're here. You okay?
Puppet's here too.
Well, I hope Seth's there as well.
Oh yeah, right.
But
I would have said that.
We're trying to keep him away from the doomsday weapons.
Please do. Where are you at?
We are in the volcano layer of the Mechanist and his grandson.
She's like
Professor
Mechanical.
Mechanical.
She's like, well, good news is I'm fine. Bad news is the sedan is out of action. I tried diving down under the water. That sort of worked, but the missile still went off and the shockwave still kind of rammed me into the surface.
Were those missiles invisible by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, y'all had figured that out while they were chasing.
Well, here's the good news. If you can get us a location, we can get out and tow you to the island and...
oh, no.
What was
I've swam to the island. I'm on the beach.
Oh, okay. Okay. If you can give us a location for the sedan, we can get it towed to the island and, what's Professor Mechanical's real name?
Anton?
No, Anton
Arthur.
was the grandson.
Arthur.
Arthur. And, Mr. Arthur can probably get it fixed back up pretty quick.
I don't know, it was still sinking when I swam out. Well, we'll see. I'll make my way to the volcano. And a little bit later, y'all get her in there. She does a double take when she sees the Yank.
Oh.
She double takes, she pauses for a second, and then she very, with her hands, starts counting superheroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty sure I only showed it with 4.
Our new friend here has been, taking a long nap here since the war.
The Second World War.
So you're...
That
And Sharon looks at Transmuter. Well, yes, I know the Fighting Yank was in the Second World War. So you're saying this is...
I said that for his benefit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That there's been. Well, actually, we did tell him how much time has transpired, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say Seth let that out of the bag pretty quick.
Yeah,
he anyway. I forget exactly. Seems like a Seth sort of thing to do.
Yep.
And she sees where y'all got Anton over the side. Nice pants. And then she gets a look on her face and she smiles really big. Anton, or y'all. I'm gonna assume y'all told her the name. She asks Anton where the communication equipment is. She for some reason she has the Yank stand to one side. And she calls somebody up. I don't think any of your characters would know who they were. But she calls him up. She's addressing him as Tim. He's calling her by name. She gives a quick lowdown of what happened. Investigating this island got shot down. Can you come out and pick us up?
There are some who call him Tim.
Y'all spend most of the rest of the day. She goes down. She speaks with Arthur. Arthur seems to have a little confusion about who she is. Keeps calling her by another woman's name. Though he thought it was really pleasant to see her again. He asked how Clifford was doing. And in case any of you forgot, Clifford is the Primus's actual name.
Oh.
Oh, she looks like her mom? Is this what we're learning from this?
Kind of the impression that you get. Because you do know that Professor Mechanical had kidnapped her mother one time.
Oh, yeah.
And was apparently a perfectly polite host. A little bit later, another high-tech jet comes in. Maybe not quite as fancy as the sedan. It lands. A man in a suit comes out. Now we're in the call. He wasn't masked at all. He's got a domino mask on this time. He's also walking with a cane. Him and Sharon shake hands. She thanks him for coming out. She introduces you. He's happy to meet you. He's been following you in the news. If you were just a little bit younger, he'd have invited you to his school.
Oh, Puppet perks up for a minute. Oh, you're that one.
Oh, actually, yeah, Puppet might have interacted with him to some degree.
Puppet perks up like, oh yeah, I was. I essentially had talked some. Just briefly.
Oh, have you?
I've seen the campus.
Oh, have you? I didn't recognize you. And now he's kind of studying you.
I was once a Mr. Spike.
What is Puppet's mother's name? Her heroine name?
Knockout Queen?
That's it. He's like, wait, you're Knockout Queen's son. Does she know?
Most of it. Reanimation via cosmic powers. My memories are not the best right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure I'm what was once the man.
Does your mother know? I've heard she was quite upset when your body came up missing. He looks over at Sharon. Have y'all notified her?
We plan to once I could remember the alphabet again.
Yeah, where are you at these days with your letters?
I'm getting better. Most medical observations are still in crayon.
Tim is looking very thoughtful. At that point, you hear the Yank kind of coming in behind y'all. Tim? And, undead kid not telling his mother he's back. Yeah, that's all forgotten. And as Tim locks eyes with the Fighting Yank.
Get to avoid this for another day.
Bruce? And Yank's smiling real big. You know, Tim walks over to him. You know, big hug sort of thing. And he just kind of looking over. How are you? He looks over at Sharon. Clone? You know, and he kind of looks at the rest of y'all. Looks back, and you know, you give him the breakdown. During the conversation, Yank asks him how Bob's doing, and he has to explain that Bob has passed. You're not entirely certain who Bob is. Though, from them talking, it's clear they served in the war together. Though Tim does not look, you know, 80 or 90. 60 or so, you know, quite possibly. So there's some more discussion. Tim tells Sharon that you know, he's made some calls. The ensign is sending one of his kids out to collect the sedan. You know, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere, but they're kind of the closest. You know, he can get y'all off the island without any trouble. But, at which point Sharon basically, once y'all are ready to leave and you've got, you know, Anton kind of secured, y'all load up in Tim's plane, or at least the plane he showed up in. And that is when Sharon calls in Spear. Over the next couple of weeks, Spear swarms the island. They take Arthur and Anton into custody. When all is said and done, Anton is charged with quite a few things. There's some serious debate as to what to do with Arthur. You know, this latest round of crimes, they probably don't figure they can charge him with much of anything, given his condition. But he does have his older crimes, even though a lot of those statute limitations. But that's all for another day. Y'all definitely ended the attacks. As you're traveling back, you know, Tim's flying, him and Sharon are chatting. He's talking to the rest of y'all about how, you know, how the heroine's going. Clearly as somebody that has been in the business. Though with his age and the fact that he has to have his walking stick to get around, you know, he's obviously not in the business anymore. He talks about that school, which I know you as the players are familiar with. He explains to Bruce, as I think y'all had already mentioned to him, that the school is named after him. But as you're traveling across, about the time, you know, you're an hour or so out from the California coast, when a little alarm sounds in the plane, or from the control panel. Tim reaches over and flips some switches. It brings up some displays. And you're it's like your news station is taking up most of the monitor, and then there's like, you know, window in a window sort of things of multiple news stations, all covering one event. Something that looked like maybe office or plant, probably more of a plant or a production facility, Big section of the roof just blows off. 2 figures come floating out. Paramilitary types, probably security for whatever facility it was. Are shooting them. They're getting blasted into nothing. They're getting snatched up and thrown. When the camera zooms in the 2 figures, it's 2 clearly not human figures. They barely have any of a nose, though you can see kind of nostril, slits around where a nose would be. They've got ears, but they're a little smaller than human and a little further back on the head. No hair, jet black eyes. I forget about finger size, finger numbers. Number of fingers. But what the news people are really in a panic over is these 2 beings look very much like the Vasilev.
Yes.
They're not as broad-shouldered. They're not quite as big and buff. In comparison, if they were humans, they would say they looked younger. Not children. But think of a high schooler versus, they're a little slenderer, but definitely that same species. And the 2 of them look more or less identical to each other. Tim cranks up the sound, and they're talking about, this was a facility that was supposed to be, creating, generic medicines. But clearly, but something else was going on. Spear has swarmed the facility after these guys left. They've been seen arresting a lot of people. They're not saying anything. They're claiming national security. But people the world over are in a panic that more of these things have shown up. The Vasilev literally fought most of, he was literally one-on-oneing most of Earth's heroes. And they go back and they play some footage they've got of some very brave/dumb reporters that recorded that fight, where the hero, the end of season 2, where the heroes were attacking in waves and he was nullifying powers. And, Walkabout was zipping in with new heroes and zipping out with depowered ones. They replay the argument between Muckboot and the Rocker, and how Slapshot put the argument to an end. Which there's still a lot of confusion over how the hockey player guy did that. And there's theories that it's more of these forces showing up, or that this guy might have had kids, or the press does not know what's going on because the government is telling them nothing. The government Spear spokesperson, agent. Oh, he's the one that acts as the liaison for the Spear team.
Davis?
That sounds right.
It's either Davis or Tully.
Or Tolliver, yeah.
Tolliver.
I think Davis. Professional brass tacks sort of guy, cold and quiet. Yeah, I think it's Davis. And his public statement is just basically everything's fine, don't worry about it. We're investigating, yada yada yada. No, this is clearly this is not another alien invasion. It's, may just be 2 stray off-world criminals. Basically, his reassurances are reassuring no one. and Sharon kind of watches that, and she kind of glances back at all of you. I'm thinking this is something we're gonna have to look into.
Yeah.
Oh, I really hope that Davis guy isn't the one in charge of the investigation.
What do you know about him?
Did y'all date?
She looks mildly offended. No. He's just an a-hole. He's not... I believe he actively hates mutants. He's a little disdainful of powered people in general.
Sounds lovely.
And generally just kind of a pain to deal with. I've got contacts in spirit, but they'll have to walk quietly if he's there. He's not somebody that'd be willing to help me out. So maybe if he doesn't know it's me, he's helping out.
What if he's helping out? The Fighting Yank. No, I'm kidding. Let's not just pull the Fighting Yank out just because he's here now.
Well, and the Yank watched that. He's watched that, and he watched the replay of the Vaster stuff. So y'all got like alien invaders these days, huh? I mean, we had a few.
Or more.
Oh,
So
to be fair, we have stopped there from being a giant alien invasion. Because I think we've gotten information that war is done and over.
Or
have the heroes not come back yet?
the heroes have not come back yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
This segment is all happening while they're gone, essentially.
Oh, that's
okay.
great.
well then,
So-
yeah, a lot of our firepower right now is currently stopping an intergalactic invasion.
Oh.
Most of our firepower last time to stop one of those guys.
They didn't look too tough. I mean, the big one in the scruffy clothes, yeah, he was fighting a lot of people with. But these two new guys, they were slapping around normal people. Kind of viciously, but still. But anyway, Roland flies you back to your secret base. Or no, not back to the secret base. He dropped y'all off in California somewhere. Y'all are saying goodbye to the Yanks, to the Yank. Roland is going to fly him on back to New York.
I mean, the spirit's still with him, though, right?
Y'all haven't seen the spirit off and on a little bit. He's not just constantly there, but yes, I mean, his grandfather's still around, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't leave him on the island. I'll be real. I would have felt real bad.
But while y'all are saying goodbye, you see Roland over talking to Sharon. And Tim does not look. Roland's his last name. Tim does not look super happy getting back on the ship with Yank. They take off, and y'all are all back in y'all's plain clothes, more than likely. Oh wait, no, y'all might not have y'all's. Tim would have provided you with something. Sharon tells you, yeah, she's got somebody. One of the ensign's kids has flown Sedan off to one of her kind of tech guys. They'll have it up and running in no time. Till then, y'all basically check into a hotel, unless one of y'all lives in California, in which case, where does Helios live?
I live in Illinois.
Okay.
Rockford, Illinois.
Okay. And Puppet basically lives at the secret base. Seth is either at the secret base or bouncing around between siblings.
I'm in the DC area.
Yeah, yeah. I knew you were East Coast. So yeah, she basically just rents out, a couple of hotel rooms for y'all to stay in until the ship's finished. And you find out from her the conversation she was having with Roland was Roland was letting her know that Joan had passed away. Basically, the old lady that funded the school. So she feels a little bad because she kind of dumped it on Tim to let Yank know. But but he knows Tim. That's he should really hear it from somebody he knows. But in the hotel room, she's making calls, trying to get more information on the attack on the lab. And basically, she lets you know that y'all might as well brace for it. This is our priority. Investigating this, it's going to have to take priority probably until we figure out where they came from, or who they're working for, and what it was they were attacking that lab for, or that production facility for. And that would be where we would wrap up. If this was a comic, there would probably be a final panel of some narration as you watch those two aliens flying through the clouds or something, not knowing what part of the world they're going to. So I hope y'all had fun today.
It was a blast.
Volcano base, alligator trap doors. I wanted to fit some of the classics in here.
Yeah.
And it's about 4. Let's see. 2 weeks will be Christmas, so we won't be doing it then. So our next session will probably be the 8th of January. I think that's right. Or no.
Yeah.
We're 11th, 18th. Yeah. Christmas will be the next one. And then the 8th. So hopefully everybody will be here by then. So we'll be a month out. All right. So, don't know if anybody, don't know if we had anybody watching. There might have been a couple of people watching us. If so, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope anybody comes by and watches or listens to us later had fun. I hope you join us, next year when we pop back up. Until then, I was your game master for the day, Jason, and with me was Taylor playing Puppet.
See you.
Mike playing Transmuter.
All right, everyone.
And Zach playing Helios.
See y'all when we see ya.
And we will see y'all next time.